Sam, so tell me sort of about the means you have for piecing together this much more complex mystery.
So I think that the fun thing here is the structure of this game is you have access to this NSA database. And there's a bunch of like organizational tools and stuff in there if you want to use them. But the core conceit is we have hundreds of these private and intimate conversations recorded. And one of the things that's really fun about this game is you're always pretty much watching two people who know each other very well talking to each other. But at any given time, you're only seeing one side of the conversation. So you might see a wife talking to her husband, and the point at which she stops speaking and is now listening, you're not hearing what's on the other side of the conversation. So you're now suddenly scrutinizing her reaction, and in your head, you're imagining what's happening on the other side of the call. And you might be kind of picking up on rhetorical devices. She might say a certain thing, or the way she reacts clues you into what's being said on the other side, which then allows you to kind of search, ping through the database. And now you're watching the other side of this conversation. And as you're watching that, you're now seeing this husband talk to his wife. You're recreating in your head what you saw on the other side. So you're in this mode where you're constantly kind of imagining, switching between these different POVs. And it creates this very intense kind of way of deep reading performance almost. Like it's, a big feature of the game for me is that whereas, if you go and see a movie or a TV show, everything is flying past you at 24 frames a second, and it's beautifully curated and edited, but it's this thing that exists and then it's gone. Here, you can stop, pause, rewind, scrub through the footage, listen again. Once you've seen another scene, you might have some new context, and so you go back and rewatch. So it's this wonderful tool to take a performance from someone like Logan and allow the players to like really dig into it in a way that, if you're editing a piece of footage or if you're involved in creating a story, you have that kind of almost forensic attention to what's going on. And it's like a delight to give that to players and let them kind of go to town on what they're seeing.
Speaking of that, like forensic attention to the performance, I kind of want to know what it's like to perform under something so tightly designed and that will be scrutinized, and every facial tick might matter.
Well, but performance-wise, it wasn't any different. You're with someone, you have an intention, you're going after it. But the process of how Sam designed and created this was totally different than anything I'd been around on set. In fact, we had two separate sets working concurrently, feeding the video from these handheld devices that were working as our phones or our tablets or our laptops or Big Brother cameras, and they were being fed both concurrently, two sets, to a village where Sam sat and kind of was the maestro. And you were really, you were getting a lot of bang out of your buck, and of course that's what Sam needed, and that's what you have to earn it through that realism of two people in a conversation and only getting one side of it, but that interaction you can't recreate unless you were able to really shoot it in a real way, like two people on a phone talking to each other and listening to each other. It's not just about hearing words, it's about watching behavior. And so the only way to do that is to do it as real as possible. So we had two sets, two people working, two cameras, two crews, one maestro, this guy.
Yeah, and I think that was, if you're pitching this project and you're saying, hey, this is going to be really fun, you're going to get to scrutinize performance. You're going to get to see people listening and being present in these very long scenes that we have. That, to me, it was like from day one was essential that we shoot it in a way where we were capturing some of that energy between the performers. Because, the conventional way to shoot a movie, you shoot coverage, you do all the setups, you might even not have Logan, you might have your stand-in or something. And, everything is then created in the edit. Whereas here it was like, we can't rely on that. We have to have this thing feel kind of special. It has to, be exciting in that sense.
Well, it's looking fantastic. I loved her story, and I can't wait to dig into this. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for showing it off.
Behind the scenes at the PC Gaming Show, powered by Epic Games Store.